Hi, everyone. Today I would like to speak a little bit about changes that may take place while going through a twin flame awakening or any type of spiritual awakening. I am certain that this aspect of the experience may tend to be the same or similar. But today I was reflecting on relationships, and I noticed that through an awakening process of my own, I found that I was not resonating anymore with some people in the last couple of months. So I feel like I was just about to reach out to call one of those people, and I couldn't. I just couldn't. I think during that night, I was dreaming in certain ways, kind of clearing things for myself. I won't be getting into that part of the process right now. I will have other videos on dreams and dream meetings during this awakening. But this is just something I never really expected to be as clear as it was that day, the other day. So I just couldn't make the calls. It was as if I was releasing some of that energy consciously, the energy that had to do with these particular relationships. I was guided to talk about this and how this could happen. Yes, so this could happen sometimes. It could be even family members, close friendships. They could bring out some of our negativity, worry, stress, tension, toxic energies. And maybe in the past, it would have gone more or less unnoticed if we were in certain mindsets um, and moods in the past. But now, the way this knowledge was coming to me, yes, this toxic energy is coming from and within certain people. But this is not at all about blaming these people. It's so much more about you, the person who's receiving this and the person who's noticing the differences. For instance, in the past, you may have latched onto that energy, and no matter who it was actually energy that you were attaching to. It's not really personal. Today, I did feel a repelling feeling, which is a force. It's a force just like attraction, but it is the opposite. So I was repelled, and it just came on so strong that I couldn't ignore it. Um, so I decided not to call anyone and just continue to think about this. I also had some guilt because I still love some of these people, and I don't really want to discontinue these relationships. And I do have a lot of love for them. So that just doesn't stop. So, but what happened is just very naturally, I started to ask myself, what would things look like if you were no longer engaged and didn't have that kind of energy attached to you in your life anymore, in your daily life. And suddenly just peace came over me, and it was all about peace and quiet. In this case, for me, this happens to be one or two of the main people that always were and still are so important to me. And just the same as important to me now, they were also important through my childhood. And remembering this, they did take some of my childlike energy in the past. sort of a dominating force, that this was part of my childhood wounds. So, this happens to many people that suffer from trauma and negative or toxic environments when they are children. So, by thinking this over, I decided not to call anyone. It's important also to mention that there is no guilt that is necessary for this process. It's really just about people on their own path and whether that path meets our path and when. By pulling yourself out of this mix, you may be healing your trauma and also possibly generational trauma, healing that as well. People in your family, if you are a divine feminine or other feminines in your family that may have had certain behavior patterns that you have, if you take a look, you may find some similarities with your ancestors and family heritage. So there are patterns that were similar to yours, and you could be a chain breaker here. So there really is no need to feel guilty about not wanting to reach out on any given day. If you maybe at some point or now can manage to balance your energy first and then engage, or decide not to engage, or even try to help them heal as well without necessarily being in their life as often or in the same way. And of course, as I chose to disengage from this activity with these people, I spent time praying for understanding. Like it was very obvious today, the other day too. It's like, no, you're in this energy now. Maybe you don't want to interrupt that right now if you're in that. Also consider that you may have allowed certain things, behaviors in the past. You have allowed these dynamics into your life. That is one thing that I'm very familiar with. So in order to change that, how I know that is, it's not going to happen overnight. Sometimes I have noticed that with some people, if I didn't participate in certain behavior and I just engaged, disengaged, they started to act differently. So there were certainly cases where I was allowing certain behavior in the past. Because I had them too, or I had ones that worked with theirs. So actually, by pulling out, I changed the dynamic. But it's important to know that you can't really depend on this, and it doesn't happen in every case. It's that part is on them. That part is wherever they are, what they want to respond to, and that is kind of their business. So just take care of yourself. Try to work with your energies, because I know that before I worked with my energies through meditation and prayer and other things, even some yoga, but definitely through meditation and energy work. Even if it's as little as going to a spa before you have a conversation with any particular person, like a little bit of sarcasm here, but really it may be necessary in order to retain your level of peace and joy and not get triggered by old habits. This is very important as you are ascending on your journey. Whatever journey, like I said, that is. If it is a spiritual journey, a journey to yourself and self-love, at this point, we are very susceptible to past energies that we once were so attached to. So no matter who it is, it could be someone really close to you, but if you are not resonating more, it's really time to, face that fact and start making changes. Like I said, they could be subtle changes. They could be just time apart. It doesn't have to be ending suddenly. I mean, with good relationships, growing is very good. You can grow and still maintain maybe an even more healthy relationship with them if it goes that way, on their part as well. So if you want to continue growing and ascending, it's not good to stay in the stuck patterns, and it's not good to stay there just for the sake of staying attached. So remembering that it's not personal, there is no need to get to, there's no need when you get to a certain place, you will feel that this is no longer a place. Also, this is no longer a place for hatred or anger or resentment. Like, why couldn't they change in order to please me? Why couldn't they join me in these realizations that I'm having? I can relate to that. I have been bitter to some people and angry why they weren't seeing what I'm seeing, and they continue to fight or something like that, you know. So there is no place for hatred and anger and resentment. All of this is just passing through you. Once you get to this certain place, you can feel that happening. I don't know, some of you are there yet. Some of you are there already. Some are you just about to be there. Everybody's at a different place, and in their own time, you can see things like this happening. Um, so all that is left is actually the clarity in seeing this. So, like I said, sometimes you can just pick up the phone and call, and just not even thinking about it. And then all of a sudden you're like, why did I just engage in that conversation? Well, at some point, when there's this level of clarity, you just don't anymore. And if you are, feeling guilty about that, feel free to leave that in the comments as well, because I like to help, when I can. With these types of changes. All of us also keep in mind we seek homeostasis. Just when things change, it tends to bring on anxiety, even if they're positive changes. So that could be also another issue that comes up. So just basically work on your energies, be in touch with yourself, and apply self-love wherever you can, whenever you can. Also remember, there's something else that came to mind with me. Maybe you were the one to call them more often, so you don't have to do that anymore. Maybe it's better. You're growing more independent, and it's something like that that's taking place. You're in a more independent place, and like I said, the relationship will grow even healthier for this reason. So there are many changes that could happen with the new energies. And it can be with the same people or different new people as well. So like I said, I just wanted to, yes, sometimes, right, I was mentioning before that they have, they can be shifting their energy in order to remain in the relationship, or not for that purpose, but it just happens to go that way, and it helps you both grow. But it's not on you. That's not your responsibility. So try not to get attached to that idea, and let it grow where it will, because this would take some awareness and on their part, and that's just not your place. It's just what they want to do for themselves. So I want to say that, also, I'm sure that everybody, especially if you're listening to this video and you're on a journey of spiritual awakening, you've probably heard of all these concepts before, but sometimes I like to share, the changes that are taking place, the process. because sometimes this could be life altering and it could make you feel out of sorts. So I just wanted to share the process. If there is someone that needs to hear it, maybe sometimes you can't talk to people about it. And like I said, it can shake you up a little when things, sometimes we're very close to people and this could happen. So the changes, even if they're positive, can kind of give you a jolt or bring up anxieties. So that is my main purpose, really, of sharing. And I want to mention that these video recordings are spontaneous, usually. And as my insight and intuition is revealed to me, I create my videos. And I am always striving to be clear. It is not that easy with some of these things that come up. But if you have any questions at all, you can please ask in the comment area. If you can relate to the content, also please write in the comments too. And any constructive feedback is always welcome. Okay, and let me know, please, what you are going through, the same or similar experience. Share what you feel, what you think about changes in your relationships, or if you're noticing the changes in the energy, let me know what you think. I do read comments often and try to answer questions as soon as possible. Okay, that will be it for now, and I will see you soon. Okay, thank you, and I hope everybody has a very loving day. Thank you. Bye.